Χαίρετε, χαίρετε. Σήμερα πάμε στο Los Angeles. Ένα ακόμα let's play είναι εδώ. Τρίτη μέρα NBA, τρίτο let's play για το NBA. 23ο συνολικά νομίζω. Los Angeles Clippers στην έδρα τους αντιμετωπίζουν τους Dallas Maverics, τους οποίους και θα έχουμε εμείς. Dirk Nowitzki, μεγάλος Dirk. Πάμε να δούμε τι θα δούμε. Μας παίρνουν ζάμπο. Ξεκινήσαν δυνατά. Deron Williams. Πιο loser και από τους Σπανούλη.
Is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of
injuries.
Still has a big time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
πουθενά η τέτοια. Ζάζα Πασούλια στο 5. Ρίντικ.
From downtown, that drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan.
There's a chance he could have a big game if
δεν
they don't
έχουμε
team up more
σήμερα
tightly on the perimeter.
Durant, ούτε Westbrook, οπότε θα παίξουμε λίγο πιο προσεκτικά.
Most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
And Matthews gets it to go.
Μπράβο ρε Μάθιους. Είπαμε να παίζουμε με τόσο κλασικές εμφανίσεις. Αν και θες πέσαμε με τις κλασικότερες εμφανίσεις. Και Stevenson οι Clippers. Πάνε για κάτι καλό φέτος η αρμάδα του Chris Paul. 3 δευτερόλεπτα και βολές. Dirk μέσα. Μπουτάνα αθματίος ξανά.
And back to Chandler Parsons, his versatility is so valuable to any scheme. We've now seen that in both Houston and Dallas. He gives you percentages and good production every time out.
He does, Kevin, but the one
λάθος από τον Dirk. Πολύ καλά ευκεφάλαιο, δεν μπορεί να τον σταματήσει τον Deron. Δεν μπορεί να του κλέψει και να του το απώσει. 9-3, πολύ ωραία ξεκινήσαμε. Με 3 τρίποντα Clippers, 2 κανονικά και ένα έμεσο. Ευτυχώς έχουμε και τον Dirk εδώ. Ω Παναγία μου, θα είναι δύσκολο βράδυ. Απόγευμα, μεσημέρι. Δεν θέλετε.
Griffin with it. Picked up by Nowitzki. He got right to the cup using that screen. Griffin's got his first points of the night.
They've been hot here early, dropping them
Δεν έχουμε καμία τύχη.
Rolling. We'll see how long they can keep it going.
Going back to Chris Paul, if you could build a point guard
Bravo,
from
Dirk.
scratch, Clark, he might be the model.
Yeah, I tell you what, you could do much worse than him, that's for sure. One of the very best.
Άμα δώσει θα δείξει και ο Dirk.
Just an incredible all-around player. One of the greatest team leaders, I think, in the history of the league as well.
For the last 2 seasons, he's led the league in
Μπράβο ρε Ζάζα. Ένα rebound ρε παιδιά, ένα rebound γάμο.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Nowitzki with the screen on Paul. Off the screen.
Dirk.
By Dirk Nowitzki.
That'll wake you up.
Ωραίο κράτημα.
Is he an athlete or what?
No doubt about it. It's almost as if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
They get it back.
Rebound ρε παιδιά.
Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first.
Πρόδωσε rebound του θέση ο DeAndre Jordan 15 μέσο όρο. Μάστης για 3 έξω.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
Επιτέλους μια άμυνα και ένα rebound. Parsons καρφώνει 11-15. Ωραίο καρφωματάκι αυτό.
What makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Paul, πάλι ο DeAndre. Αν δεν φτιάξουμε τα rebound, δεν βλέπω σωτηρία. Έλα, ξανθώ ψηρά. Άντε, ξανθώ ψηρά. Ωραίος ο Ντί. Πολύ έτσι.
For that distinction, I mean, you got Hakeem, Nash, Parker.
Πού πάμε τώρα με Τσάρλι Βιλανουέβα, ρε γάμο. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce. Μπροστά να πάρουμε κανένα rebound.
Guys, I caught up with Doc Rivers for a minute. Coach told me that he knows they have a tough assignment.
Μπράβο, καλά, εκεί ήταν ωραίο mismatch. Δεν κάνεις 15 ο Νοβίτσκι. Μπράβο ρε Τσάρλι. Μπράβο ρε Τσάρλι. Δεν είσαι ο Σιν, είσαι ο Βιλανουέβα και τους γλεντάς. Φέλτον, το έχει μπαρέα. Βιλανουέβα, μέσα. 17 όλα.
That's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side. Finally get the one they want.
Back to the topic in Nowitzki is the greatest foreign-born player ever. I think Hakeem Olajuwon. Clark is really his only challenger.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I'd keep Hakeem at the top of that list just because of his presence and impact at both ends of the floor, but Dirk,
Felton για 3. Έξω, θα μαζέψει ο Όλτριχ. Μόνο ο Μπόλ έχει μείνει από τους βασικούς των Clippers. 17-21.
And he's not going to pass up on chances like that. Even with just a sliver of daylight, he can get to the rim.
8-second difference between the shot clock.
Βιτς για 2 μέσα. Ακριβώς στα 24. Μία ολόκληρη επίθεση για το Λος Άντζελες. Crawford. Μπαίνει μέσα. 19-23. Ωχ, τραγέ λάθος είμαστε στην άμυνα. Βίτσκι για 3. Ντίκ. 22-23. Μειώνει στο πόντο Ντίκ. Πίρς. Έξω. Άδειασε το Βιλανουέβα, αλλά ήρθε πάνω το Νοβίτσκι και καθάρισε την μπουγάδα. Τέλος πρώτης. Πάμε για δεύτερη. Μου ήταν αθμάτιος, ίσως καλύτερα παιδιά.
You know, watching him kind of go through the process of he started to get, you know, recruited by college coaches, and then he, you know, really took his game and became serious about it. And I watched his work ethic, and I watched how he, you know, put the time in, the things he did, and that's kind of where I developed mine.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, you know, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. Doesn't hurt.
Evans, είδα πάρει το γαλάζι και φάουλ.
And also a college coach.
Για να δούμε τώρα πώς θα ανταποκριθούμε χωρίς τον Νοβίτσκι. Πλέον όλα τα παιχνίδια είναι κλειστά που θα βλέπετε εδώ πέρα, οπότε καθίστε δείτε. Έχει ενδιαφέρον. Μπήκε ο Τζόρνταν. Θα χαμηλώσουμε εδώ την ταχύτητα των επιθέσεων. Ξέρω εγώ. Είμαι 23 πόντους στην μία περίοδο. Parsons μέσα. Evans, Νοβίτσκι. Όχι. Δεν έγινε Νοβίτσκι ο Evans.
Flush it down.
Oh, that's some energy we just witnessed right there.
And that's the kind of energy you have to display when you want to attack that offensive play.
Αλλά στο screen ο Βιλανόεβα δεν θα βγει καλά. Χάρης από μακριά για 3. Έξω.
They host the Kings after this game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Crawford's shot is good.
Όχι, είναι βριστή.
Closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. They set the pick. Felton the pass to Evans. Back to Felton.
Felton για 3. Μέσα. 29 όλα.
Felton's got it all tied up now for Dallas.
Και ετοιμάζει αλλαγές στον Dallas. Κόψιμο από το Χάρις. Και στον ευνηδιασμό Parsons. Felton. Δεν μπορεί να αφήσει την μπάλα στο καλάθι. Τεράστιο κόψιμο από τον Σμιτ.
He's checked in for the Maverics. Williams comes in for Raymond Felton. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Parsons. Off balance για 2 έξω. 29 όλα. 3:55 με το τέλος της δεύτερης περίοδου.
Smith on the wing. Evans with the rebound.
Έλα ρε πουθενάδες.
Dallas has gone 1 or 2 on 3-pointers here.
Parsons. Για 2 από τα 7 μέτρα μέσα. Μπροστά τον Dallas. 31-29. Στίφενσον. Γκρίφιν. Σμιτ. Για 3. Έξω. Μαζεύει ο Parsons. Και ευκαιρία να φύγουν με 4 ή με 5 πόντους τώρα η Dallas. Για πρώτη φορά, Williams. Ζάζα πασούλια, δεν αφήνει καλά την μπάλα. Γεωργιανός δεν θα καταφέρει να δώσει συν 4 πόντους προβάδισμα. Και ο Μπλεκ Γκρίφιν θα ισοφαρίσει. Time out.
That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And they may have been on the road, but you know what? They nullified any home court disadvantage in that game by how well they shot it from 3.
Shooting can always be a great equalizer. I mean, when you shoot
Μπήκε
like
για
that
τον Dirk,
from
γι' αυτό πήρα και το time out για να βάλω τον Dirk. Αλλά θα του δώσω την μπάλα στο Στάμπτον. Χάρης. Chris Paul, στοχή. Derek Williams, Deron Williams. Για 3. Μετά το screen του Πατσούλια έξω. 3 στα 6 έχει ο Chris Paul, 7 από τους 3 assist, ένα κλέψιμο. Ρέντικ για 2, στοχή, μαζεύει ο Γκρίφιν. Δεν μπορούμε ένα αμυντικό rebound γάμο στο διάολο. Για 3, έξω ο Ντίρκ, μαζεύει ο Parsons. Ντίρκ και πάλι εκτός ισορροπίας για 3 έξω. Και ευκαιρία να φύγει στο... να φύγουν στο συνέχιση και φεύγουν.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint.
Not to the surprise of anyone really, but the Clippers last year.
Williams για 2 μέχρι από κοντά μέσα. 33-37.
And Kevin, that makes 3 straight seasons for the Clippers of 30 or more wins at home.
33 συνεχόμενες σεζόν λέει. Οι Clippers κάνουν 30 πλάς νίκες στην έδρα τους.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Cole Aldridge, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Pierce comes in for Blake Griffin. And Wesley Johnson has subbed for J.J. Redick. Dallas also making some changes. Matthews, he's checked in for Chandler Parsons. And Barea subbed in for Harris.
And one issue with the Clippers at home is...
Έλα πατσούλια!
Like they were at home. But Blake Griffin said home court advantage is just not there for us. And this is on the heels of...
Πήραμε rebound.
The crowd was cheering for the other team louder than the Clippers at times.
Williams for 3.
Williams για 3 μέσα! 36-40 Deron Williams δηλώνει παρόν.
You know what, guys, he can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
The drive by Paul. Stevenson. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
Great job from behind the arc this quarter. I mean, shooting just under 60% for the game. I mean, that's smoking.
Pass to Nowitzki. Fade.
Για 2, αστοχή ο Ντίκ.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team.
Στο 9 συν 9.
Oh, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been
Και τώρα έχει ξεφύγει το παιχνίδι.
Time and time again.
Off the screen.
Νοβίτσκι δεν μπορεί. Του έγινε και φάουλ, δεν σφυρίχτηκε. Πολ. Όλντριτς 36-47 στο συν 11.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff.
Μάθης για 3. Κακό. Πολύ κακή εμφάνιση. Στο διάλογο να πάνε. Αν δεν γαμίσεις 3 φόλ και εσύ και καλή σου εξυπηρέτηση. Με 30% τρίποντα εμείς οι 57, οι άλλοι δεν πάνε πουθενά. Με 9-17 rebound δεν πάνε πουθενά. Παίξε μπάσκετ. Είναι η εντολή από τις κερκίδες. Άντε στην Ελλάδα και φωνάζαν συνθήματα. Όχι, let's go Dallas και Aries.
Dirk Nowitzki having a dominant impact in this game.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to
Έλα ρε Νοβίτσκι, κοίτα βάλω σταμάτησε και χτες.
I don't know if there is an answer for him quite honestly.
On the court for the Mavericks. Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Matthews out there with Deron Williams, and it's Pachulia in at the 5.
Γκολ ο Πατσούλια.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
And when you watch Wes Matthews, you see he's just a fantastic perimeter defender, Clark. He can match up well.
Μπράβο ρε Dirk.
His combination, Kevin, of length and strength and lateral movement make him an outstanding defensive player.
Έχουμε και τον καθυστερημένο τον Τερόν, τώρα δεν μπορεί να βάλει ένα καλάθι.
Here's Los Angeles. Here's Paul. And Redick kicks to Stevenson. And the shot falls short this time.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Nobody near Williams. And it's
Στο
Williams
διάολο,
again missing.
γαμημένε.
He's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Paul with the ball. Matthews covering. Redick with the bucket.
Άμμο το σπίτι σου. Γαμημένε Τερόν.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Με νευριάσει τώρα. Το νευριάσει. Το χάζω τον Τερόν.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Lance Stevenson. Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Dallas. Williams' shot is off.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint. Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
And the basket by Nowitzki.
I like the recognition of the mismatch. They're immediately making the defense pay.
Crawford kicks to Paul. Pass to Crawford. Jordan the screen. Griffin sets the screen for Crawford. Shot clock at 5. The Clippers need to get off a shot. A shot by Griffin. Nobody around.
Έλα μωρέ, εκεί παίζω την τέλεια άμυνα και καταφέρνει και μου το βάζει στο τέλος Καραγκιόζης. Άιντε επιτέλους. Άιντε να μακρινώσουν καλό.
For the Clippers on offense. You talked about their efficiency on the offensive end. Led the league in points scored per 100 possessions at 109.8.
And you know, the Clippers were near the top of the league in most other offensive efficiency categories as well. Second in the league in field goal percentage, second in points per game at almost 107. That was a high-octane offensive group.
And the Clippers making a change here. Smith is checked in. Then for the Maverics, Felton comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Harris subbed in for Darren Williams. Crawford's shot is good. Here's Harris, looking for his first basket still in this one.
Θα τους κατεβάσουμε σε 75 πόντους συνολικά.
I mean, mostly due to their bigs. Actually had 3 perimeter players who shot over 90% on the season. But you can forgive their free throw struggles as a team given how great they were everywhere else.
Nowitzki for 3, another 3.
Ναι ρε Dirk. Μπράβο ρε Dirk. Μπράβο ρε Dirk. Μπράβο, μπράβο ρε Parsons. Και εσύ Dirk. Μπράβο αγόρι μου, έτσι αυτό είναι. Μπράβο.
I think they're playing too soft on the perimeter. They can't stay so soft. They've got to get up into the shooters here.
Μπράβο! Είμαστε κολόφαρδοι. Όχι ρε πλήστη. Τι άθλιο ήταν αυτό.
John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this for his career. 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons.
Defense. Γάμο το σπίτι σου.
One thing about Jamal Crawford, he is the definition of a streak shooter. When he's hot,
Bravo the Parsons.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Seks και πάλι.
craftiness and athleticism. It makes him very hard to defend. He can spot you up, run you off picks, drive past you. This guy gives you the real deal.
Offensive rebound. Smith, soft touch off the glass.
Rebound.
And the Clippers lead by 8.
Really
Rebound.
and he gets the easy putback.
The pass to Barea. Dallas moving it around. Nowitzki outside. Stolen by Pierce. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. So for the Clippers, Johnson comes in for Josh Smith. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Jamal Crawford. The Maverics also with a sub. Pachulia is checked in.
I mean, that's a tough break. And drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
And an interesting byproduct of Blake Griffin extending his shooting range and his perimeter defense, Clark, his rebounding numbers have gone way down.
Well, it's hard to have it both ways, Kevin.
Working
on this perimeter game, and if he's out on the perimeter, it makes it tougher for him.
Το Χριστό σου!
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass. And on the topic of Griffin's rebounding, there's another force that helps submarine his numbers.
Τον αντίχριστό σου.
Over the past few seasons, as Jordan's boards went up, Griffin's have gone down. Now, you'd think with the two elite rebounders that the team would finish better than 20th in rebounding last year. But that's another story.
Here's Pachulia. Well, it was
Άντε Πατσούλια. Μπράβο. Και είχα πάει στους 6 views.
And that's a foul called on JJ Barea. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the
Πού να χάσει βόλες στο πόδι.
Los Angeles shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Only 71% from the line last season, and rest assured they're hoping to bring those numbers up.
Έλα, ηλίθιε.
You know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
Dishes to Pachulia. That's a 2 from Matthews. No luck.
That's not a sight you see.
Ρε Μάθιους, ελεύθερο σουτ.
Great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
And here at the end of the third
Τέλος και
quarter,
της
it's a
τρίτης.
double-digit ball game. Clippers lead by 11. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
Πάμε τώρα σε μια τέταρτη περίοδο, πρέπει να τα δώσουμε όλα για να επιστρέψουμε στο παιχνίδι. Για να έχουμε λίγο τύχη. Χάνουμε λίγο από τους. 53, 62, 73, 76, γύρω στους 77 πόντους μπορούμε να τους βάλουμε. Με υπερβολή γύρω στους 73, λογικά θα τους βάλουμε.
Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game, and their next game it'll be played in Los Angeles. And that's game 4 of 4 out on the road.
Καλάθι και φάουλ, μπράβο ρε Χάρης. Οπότε πρέπει να τους κατεβάσουμε λίγο σε σκορ. Αρκετά δηλαδή, τέλος πάντων. Να κάνουμε ένα γρήγορο δυνατό σερί. Λογική λέει να τους κατεβάσουμε γύρω στους 75 πόντους. Όχι ρε Πατσούλια, όχι ρε Πατσούλια.
You know, getting back to Devin Harris, he can really help you, but you want to do one thing, limit
Πάλι καλά. Το χάσε. Το χάσε και αυτές. Το χάσε και αυτές. Πάλι καλά που είναι και άλλοι και αυτές. Σε παρακαλώ Χάρης. Έλα ρε Χάρης. Πάει στον Τύρκη, μπάλα να μπει. Αλλά τον βλέπω αυτόν στους 40 νομίζω. Δεύτερο φάουλο Πατσούλια. Έξω ο Χάρης.
And his skill set was a good fit for Coach Carlisle's flow offense.
58-67, 5 λεπτά ακόμα.
And there are very few that are quicker than him with the ball.
Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Dallas. Nowitzki for 3.
Για 3. Έξω.
No can do, misses for the 6th time and 15 shots from the floor.
Ρέντικ μπαίνει μέσα στο χύσι. Θα πάρει το rebound ο Γαμιόλης ο Γκρίφιν. Δεν γίνεται το παιχνίδι. Αλλάξε κανάλι, που ήταν μεγάλη.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's a little salt in the wound there. I mean, they take a miss and turn it into one of the plays of the game. That hurts.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. No surprise, really. The turnover situation was the focus. He told them, listen, we're giving it away, guys. We've got to protect the ball, play within ourselves, and get quality shots. Kevin?
Got that one up quick.
Δεν έχουμε δει το παιχνίδι, το παρατάμε όπως γίνεται αντιληπτό και πάμε να μαλακιστούμε τώρα. Ναι, έστω και αυτό, καλά και φάουλ. Μπράβο ρε Ντίρκ. Το ότι δεν το κυνηγάμε πλέον να το γυρίσουμε Σε φούλου ρυθμούς δεν σημαίνει ότι θα κάτσουμε να χάσουμε με 25 πόντους. Αν και έχει πάρα πολύ χρόνο ακόμα.
Jumping to 7th all-time in scoring. I mean, passing the great Moses Malone for that spot, and he surely will keep climbing this season.
Δεν βλέπω πώς μπορούμε να παίξουμε άμυνα.
Around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here, and stolen by Parsons. And now Williams running the floor.
Μπράβο, Ντερόν, μπράβο ρε Ντερόν. Άιντε. Και έχει 5 πόντους μέχρι
I think
τώρα.
that's the perfect time to do it, Greg. I mean, those few seconds after the turnover, strike right away because the defense has no chance to get organized.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Πάμε hack.
That break, Coach Rivers had some words for his team. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Blake Griffin. Coach stressed the importance of getting the ball in his hands as soon as possible at the start of their possessions.
Βίτσκι μέσα.
To be the key guy
65-70.
Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Well, with Nowitzki
Yes,
passing along the
Nowitzki,
scoring, as Greg
ωραίο.
was talking about, Clark, you know, this is a guy that obviously has Hall of Fame written all over him.
No question about it. First ballot in my mind, and he's got a game that stands the test of time because it's not predicated on athleticism. It's all skill-based.
Το rebound, μπράβο.
That's not the best of shot selection there. The defense definitely won that possession.
Yeah, I think in that case, you've got to go elsewhere with the ball. You just can't rise up over the top of him when he's on it.
Fires it up.
Νοβίτσκι εκτός ισορροπίας έξω.
This is off the front eye. Clippers leading by 8. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Foul.
You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that
Δεν
came
παίξουμε
from.
με τα φάουλ
Just
τώρα.
lost sense of time and the situation.
And the Clippers making a change here. Stevenson's checked in. The Mavericks also with a sub. Raymond Felton, who's checked in for Darren Williams. Matthews against Crawford. Paul, no one around him. Shot is no good.
Στο επόμενο φάουλ βάζουν βολές.
Back to Felton. Parsons for
Πάρσον,
three.
στόχοι.
Jordan
Όχι.
with the rebound. Jordan's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Clippers?
Their ability to rebound and convert those second chance opportunities has been a running theme
18
throughout.
πόντους στον εφηδιασμό,
They haven't
17
wasted time
rebound.
getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points. Talk about some great numbers for Jordan. He's got 10 rebounds.
Μάθιους δεν μπορεί να πάρει το γαλάτι και φάουλ θα πάρει τις βολές.
With his passing and some grit with his board work.
Yeah, not a
60.
combination that too many players in our league possess.
Μένει το 65-73.
Good on the second free throw.
66-73.
Al Paul. They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, gives themselves a little break, too.
Catch their breath, you're
Yep.
right. He feeds it to Griffin. Rejected by Nowitzki.
Μπράβο ρε Dirk.
Matthews left side. Griffin with the steal. And the shot counts as
εντάξει.
fouled, and it's a chance for a
Είναι και κολόφαρδη.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys.
Μέσα.
going in there and
Στους
challenging
6, 1 και
them like he did.
34.
But boy, that was a nice job.
J.J. Redick's checked in for Jalen Crawford. Pass to Griffin. And so they foul intentionally.
Μαλακία.
Gets the first, that makes it a
Τον άλλο
7-point
θέλει να
lead.
κάνω φάουλ.
And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game.
And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
And guys, I think it's exactly the right thing to do.
Nowitzki
with the lead.
μέσα,
Keep going at
sexy.
defenders and find a way to get yourself to the line. Despite the play of the team, I think he's had an outstanding game. He's really done well here.
Boom, he jams it straight
Ρε
down.
πατσούλια.
Wow, what a
Τι
clutch
άμυνα
pass
είναι
that
αυτή
time by
γάμο
Chris
το
Paul.
Χριστ...
behind by 8. We've got 1:13 left to play here in the fourth.
Δώσ' την άρεκη.
We've got 1:13 left in the fourth. Parsons for 3.
Parsons για 3.
And it's no
Έξω.
good. Third time he's missed in 9 shot attempts.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Stevenson, stuffing the stat sheet, doing all sorts of things. 13 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out of him.
Parsons for 3. Connects.
Ναι.
Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Add another triple to their second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just not letting up at all.
Έξω.
He gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty
Άρε,
on
dude.
that shot by a large amount.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. No luck that time either. Nowitzki with the screen on Reddick.
Parsons για 3. Έξω. Φαουλ καν του ρε Dirk. Δεν μας πάει κιόλας η κολόμπαλα.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
And so both free throws are good. And it's a 7-point game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
And J.J. Redick picks up the foul. Parsons for 3.
Για 3. Μέσα.
And now they trail by just 4.
Man, this fourth quarter has been tremendous. They have been exceptional from deep.
Yeah, a bunch of their points coming from long range here. A major barrage.
No choice but to foul
Αργά,
there.
αργά
He's
γίνεται
probably the
αυτό.
last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
Dallas calls timeout. They're losing by 6. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And I'm not sure the 2-point bucket does much here. I think they got to go for 3.
Yeah, it's no-brainer, partner. I mean, that's their only choice. Shoot the 3 and hopefully get it down and then foul.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Όλους χάσαμε.
It's the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Δεν πειράζει, χάσαμε σήμερα.
And he cannot
Έχω ρεκόρ 2-1 εγώ, 1-2 μάλλον.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Not anymore. I mean, any chance they had got away from them, slipped right out of their hand.
So the Clippers with the win. It was up for grabs right until
Ωραίο παιχνιδάκι, ρίξαμε τα χαμοσαυρίδια μας. Κατεβάσαμε και ένα Ευαγγέλιο.
Send these fans home happy.
And now we'll send it down to Doris.
77-84, το παλέψαμε, δεν τα καταφέραμε. Ένα τριποντάκι παραπάνω είχε βάλει ο Parsons. Αναλύει από ντερών. Θα είχαμε πάρει το παιχνίδι. Πάμε να δούμε MVP. Κάντε share, like, subscribe και δεν είμαστε αύριο πάλι με ένα ακόμα παιχνίδι.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball,
Λογικό. Ή ο Blake και ο Ντερών θα βγαίνανε με τα rebounds.
this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
Is there anyone
Και την τρύπα του Μπασούλια πίσω. Αυτό λοιπόν είπαμε. Share, like και subscribe. Φιλάκια ρουφικτά.